Hi guys, welcome to this third lecture in the series on Google Classroom, and in this particular video I'm going to take you through some more aspects of assignment. What we've done already in video 1 and video 2 is to learn how to access our Google Classrooms. We've learned how to create a class, we've learned how to enroll students into the class, make an assignment in which we can add a few resources like links, etc. So all those aspects we've already covered in the previous two videos in this series, and in this particular video I want to take you through a very special kind of a option that Google Classroom offers, and this option of creating a rubric for your assignment and then also adding an originality report being generated for every student is something that comes along with a G Suite Edu or a G Suite business plan. So for all those who have such kind of institutional access, you can definitely make use of these tools which will help you in assessing your students better. Okay, so let's get started. I'm already logged into my Google Classroom, as you see, and we've been dealing with the demo video 1 class, and I'll be continuing there. When I go to classwork, I see these 3 topics already having been created in the video 1. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create an assignment now. And in this assignment, the features that we are going to be discussing are here, the rubric and the originality reports. Now before you go ahead and do this, you'll need to have the grading system activated for your class before you can set up a rubric. What I mean by that is, for every class you have a settings button on the top right hand side corner. When you click that, you're popped up into another settings page in which you have a grading as the last section. Now in this section, if your overall grade calculation says no overall grade, then your rubric option in the assignments is going to be inactive, right? So if you want your rubric option to be activated and you want to be able to grade your students based on a rubric, then it's important that the overall grade calculation over here should not say no overall grade, but can say either a weighted by category or total points. Now since point system is something a little more easier to deal with, I'll set up a total point kind of a system for grading, and you may choose to show the overall grade to your students. Let me check that as well and click on save. Alright, so now when I go to classwork and start accessing an assignment, okay, and put a title, you see that as soon as I let it sync with respect to the changed settings, I see that this rubric has become active for me, right? So let me just quickly write down some elementary assignment that I want them to submit. Types of reactions, say for example we had a similar thing last time, so I say submit a Word document as an attachment, and that becomes their instruction. Last video we also saw how we can add certain resources, like if at all you want to add a video that you want them to go through before they attempt the assignment, then you can do that by the add button which is right here. Anyways, as of now what I'm going to go through is the rubric option. Let me change the point scale to 10 and let me click on plus rubric. When I do that, it drops me down to 3 options: create a rubric, reuse rubric, or import from sheets. So since I have not yet created a rubric for my class ever, or in my account basically, Google Classroom account, I'm going to create a rubric. And when I do that, I see a pop-up window open like this. So what you need to do is you need to enter a criteria title, you need to enter the description, which is optional, and then you have to categorize or state how many points you're going to be awarding for that criteria. So say for example, if my criteria is content, and for content I put down the criterion assesses on the basis of content of the assignment, right? So now I need to decide how many maximum number of points I need to assign to the content criterion. So if, say for example, I decide to assign 6 points for content, then 6 points would mean that the level title is excellent, and you may wish to add a description to your rubric. So you're all used to making rubrics for your assignment, whereby you talk about what are the desirable things in the assignment that are needed, so that for a certain criteria they get full marks, or if they miss out on a few points, then they are going to get 2 points lesser or 4 points lesser, and so on. So here you can add a description which says the content is exhaustive and covers all points. So that gives them excellent. Now if at all I want the next rubric, and I say give you 4 points, and here I have the title as very good, and I can go on entering descriptions as I like. Then I can have 3 points, then I can have 2 points or 1 point in the rubric, and so on. And I can also add another criteria, and I could call this criteria as presentation. So marks the student on the way of presentation. And I could say that now, since the assignment is out of 10 points, I have 4 points left, so I give 4 points to presentation. Once again, I can define the title as excellent, and I can go on to very good, and so on. And I can keep defining this. So when I am happy with the way the rubric has turned out, I hit save. When I do that, I get the rubric attached to the assignment. Right, now let's see what does this do to the student view. When I log in as a student, let me do that for you, into the classroom. Of course, we've not yet assigned the assignment, so it will not be visible to the student. So let me go ahead and assign it. Then later on, click the Originality reports, and I'll show you what this Originality reports does. Alright, so there is an assignment that is already assigned to the class. Now I go to my class and see what's upcoming, and I see that there is an assignment here that has been uploaded by my course instructor. And if you see here, when I drop down, I can see exactly what the rubric is for the assessment of my assignment as a student. So I know what is the expectation of my course instructor when it comes to this assignment. So he wants the content to be exhaustive and it should cover all the points. Only then I can aim to get the 6 points for content. And then if I present it well, then I'm eligible to get 4 points there. So this rubric is visible to your students, so they can keep that in mind while they are preparing their submissions, right? Now another thing that we'll be looking at is the option called as Originality reports. Now when you check this box, you get a pop-up which prompts you to say that you can only enable Originality reports on 3 assignments per class. So depending upon what your login credentials are and how your entire G Suite management is, you may be prompted for having an eligibility of only 3 assignments in one class, one topic basically. So you can create multiple topics. So there are ways to work around the limited number of assignments that you can attach Originality reports to. But let's just see how you can use the Originality reports for your assessment, right? So let me go ahead and say continue. So I am exhausting one of the Originality reports here for an assignment in this topic, right? So when I do that and I refresh the page for the student, okay, so I see the same page up here. Now say for example, if I want to add a Google Doc to my submission, it's creating a Google Doc for me, and I want to edit this. So I click on it to get exported to another page, and here I can go ahead and start my submission. But You all know that Google happens to be the most favorite search engine that students use to build up their assignments. So say for example they go to their savior and say, I need to submit it today only, so I type types of organic reactions here to get some content, and I copy that and I paste it here and I say I'm done. Right? Now as soon as I do this and it has synced and saved, I close this window and I see that my Word file, the Google Doc file is already attached. Now the students can run Originality reports on their assignment. So if they want to check what is the level of plagiarism, they can run it for themselves, and they will be able to run 3 Originality reports only according to their account config. So if say for example the student is in a lot of hurry and he doesn't care about the Originality report and says turn in, so it asks whether you want to turn it in, and the student says yes, I want to turn this in as my submission. Now coming back to the teacher's view. Now in the teacher's view, I click on the assignment and say view assignment. I see one of the students have turned it in. So I go to the assignment. So it opens up the submission that the student has made, and it gives me an option to grade him based on the rubric. So content 6 points and presentation 4 points. Now what if I want to see whether it's plagiarized or not. So I see that there is a flagged passage, and when I click on that, I get the percentage plagiarism as 100%. That means the entire thing has been copied from one of the sites that is available on Google. So this can help you in understanding whether the student has actually worked on the assignment to put together all the content, or has he just copied some content from our favorite search engine, which is Google. So this could be a very useful tool for you as teachers, because you want to grade students based on originality. You want to see whether they have worked independently and put together their ideas by going through references, and also there is a proper way of citing these references which have been used in building up the assignment. So all these things can be assessed very easily by this tool, and since it has been plagiarized as per the Originality report, you can grade the person very, very low on content, because you could have kept that as one of the criteria in your rubric, that the assignment has to be original in terms of the ideas and in terms of the way it has been put together based on looking at other references. So these are two very important and useful handy tools in Google Classroom that you can use while you're setting up the assignment module. So in the next video, I'm going to take you through the quiz option in Google, which is also a very exciting new feature, once again available only to G Suite users. So all that coming up in the next video.